Well, welcome back to NBC Action News Midday. Raising awareness for children and adults with autism. Last year, Governor Nixon signed into law legislation ensuring autism coverage through their insurance companies. The man who helped to make it happen, Jason Grill, also recently voted Kansas City's Man of the Year. And from Children's Mercy, Dr. Michelle Kalo and Mary Ann Hammond. Good morning. Sorry, man.
Good morning.
It's been a long, long day. I got that right. Kylo, right?
Kylo.
And I said Kalo, but
that's okay.
That's all right. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about this. Every time I hear the numbers on autism, it just seems to be amazing because I think it was several years ago, it was like 1 in 1,500. Now it's like down to 1 in 110.
Right.
So it's important that that the adults and the kids have some kind of support, right?
Yes, support is critical for this disorder. Family support, educational support, diagnostic support, all of those.
And it all comes through the legislation that Jason Grill helped to craft.
We help to get the insurance coverage for the families so they can get these coverages in behavioral therapies and whatnot.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I wanted to bring everyone together this week, too, to educate your viewers more on these issues.
Okay.
And so these are two of the top-notch people in Kansas City area that deal with these issues.
Okay. And in what types of ways?
Well, so let me just give you a little bit of background about Children's Mercy. Our section of developmental and behavioral sciences at Children's Mercy is a large section that cares for children, teens, and their families with a very broad array of developmental, behavioral, and emotional disorders. One of those is autism, and that portion of our work has grown tremendously in the past 10 years. As you said, the numbers have changed drastically over that period of time. In 2007, the state of Missouri, Department of Mental Health, actually put out a request for proposal from centers throughout the state to be designated as Missouri Autism Centers of Excellence. And we applied for that at Children's Mercy within our section and were designated as a Missouri Autism Center of Excellence. So since 2007, we have really grown our diagnostic and treatment and family support capabilities. So I, as the section chief and a developmental pediatrician, am one of the physicians who actually evaluates children, assesses them for whether or not they meet criteria for diagnosis. That's the start. And then Mary Ann, who is our community coordinator for education throughout the community, really is out there in the community organizing educational opportunities and trainings for parents and professionals, etc. So we really want to focus on that component today because we believe that that is critical for families.
And Mary Ann, it seems like there is somewhat of a misunderstanding because, you know, there's along the spectrum, there are different ranges. And so in terms of educating, what are you aiming at? What's your goal?
Well, that's a really good question because we say even though you've seen one child with autism, you've seen one child with autism, they all look differently, and yet there are some similar characteristics, and so we kind of focus on our trainings focus on issues that affect almost all children on the spectrum: sensory issues, communication issues, for the parents, social issues, how to be a good advocate for your child as a family that has been given this lifelong diagnosis. So we have 7 set trainings that we do and repeat on a regular basis on these different topics: communication, picture exchange communication, taking that child out into the community effectively and not having a meltdown, and how we can make that most successful. So those are some of the topics. To the educators, we talk about how to recognize the red flags of autism, parents as teachers, early childhood educators, even the residents going through our own clinic at Children's Mercy that are seeing kids in clinic. So across the board, how we can get these kids recognized that need further evaluation, and then how we can get them into treatment that will let them be the most successful children and on into adulthood.
Certainly opening my mind and raising my eyebrows to that, not knowing that, so it's certainly a good education. Just to lighten the mood a moment, Jason Grill brought in his trophy.
Yeah, I carry one wherever I go.
Yeah, exactly. But not without a character mark.
Character mark, yeah.
Did you drop that like a soccer trophy?
I dropped it like the champions over in Europe off a bus. So,
and you got this for the signing last year, for the legislation.
This is actually for Kansas City Man fan of the year with Casey Connections.
Okay.
And I made my beneficiary Autism Speaks.
Okay.
And all week we're going to be talking about autism, and Friday we're going to have a check presentation to the folks at Autism Speaks.
Awesome.
That was raised during this competition and the votes.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming in
Great.
today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
having us.
much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right, and don't forget, Walk Now for Autism Speaks comes to Kansas City on Saturday, September 24th at the Kansas Speedway. This gives you a few months to get those legs warmed up, get into walking shape. So far this year, the walk has already raised nearly $15,000 for autism education. If you want to register for the walk, we have a link on our website, NBCActionNews.com. Just click on Scene on 41. We'll be right back after this.